was woven from patches of old maps and starlight, and her hair was the color of a stormy sky. One evening, as Alara was about to drift off to sleep, a soft whimpering sound came from the bookshelf. A small, furry creature with the ears of a rabbit and the tail of a squirrel tumbled out of a book of fairy tales. It was a wiffle beast, and it was trouble. "Oh, story mender," it cried, its voice like jingling bells. "A terrible thing has happened. The great tail tree in the heart of Fantastica is wilting. Its leaves, which are all the stories ever told, are turning brown and falling off. The colors are draining from our world." Barbie's eyes, which usually sparkled with calm wisdom, grew wide with concern. The great tail tree held all the magic of imagination. If it died, every fairy tale would be forgotten forever. "Ilara," Barbie said, turning to her friend, "this is a task for both of us. I will be your brave heart." Lara's eyes lit up. She took Barbie's hand, and with a swirl of the story mender's patchwork cloak, they were whisked away, tumbling through a tunnel of swirling words and painted pictures, until they landed softly in Fantastica. But it was not the Fantastica from Alara's dreams. The sky was a pale, washed-out gray. The candy-striped flowers were drooping. Their colors faded to beige. The rivers of lemonade were flowing slow and silent. They followed the weeping wiffle beasts to the center of the land. There stood the great tail tree, but it was a heartbreaking sight. Its massive branches, usually heavy with glowing story leaves, were almost bare. A few remaining leaves hung, brittle and brown. "The problem," chirped a tiny, anxious pigeon pixie, "is that the stories are getting tangled. The endings are getting mixed up with the beginnings, and the villains are escaping into the wrong tales." Just then, they heard a roar. From the pages of a fallen Little Red Riding Hood leaf, the big bad wolf jumped out, but he was now in the middle of the three little pigs. The pigs were terrified, and their houses of straw and sticks were already in splinters. Ilara, her heart pounding, stepped forward. "Mr. Wolf," she shouted, "wait, aren't you supposed to be looking for a giant magical turnip? I heard it's the sweetest turnip in all the land, and it's hiding right over there in that field." The wolf, confused but intrigued by the idea of a magical snack, scratched his head. "A turnip? I do like turnips." He trotted off towards the field, his mind on a new adventure. Quick as a flash, Barbie took her shimmering needle. She didn't sew with thread, but with light. She gently wove a stitch in the air between the wolf and the pigs, mending the tear in their story. With a pop, the wolf was back in Little Red Riding Hood, and the three little pigs were safely in their brick house, cheering. That was just one leaf. The tree was still dying. "The only way to save it," said the oldest wiffle beast, "is to remind the tree of its own magic. We need a completely new story, one it has never heard before. A story of true friendship and courage." Alara and Barbie looked at each other. They knew this was their task. a brilliant, glowing green. Then another and another. The new leaves were the color of emeralds and sapphires, and on them, the story Alara was telling was being written in shimmering ink. The gray sky began to blush with pink and orange. The candy-striped flowers straightened up, their colors returning brighter than ever. The rivers of lemonade began to gurgle